I'm just curious as to how you got to the place to be able to say that you're in. This is it. Regardless of the little comings and goings of together, and the separateness is apart to process and all that. Because a lot of people say that, no, I'm in. This is, I mean, obviously marriage is supposed to be for life and all that, but a lot of times when it comes right down to it, they don't have the feeling in their gut that they really know this person is not going there. I can be my worst, whatever. This is truly unconditional. Like, for them to know in their heart and soul that person is not going to leave me. I could, shoot the president or whatever, and they're not going to, we're together. So how did you guys get to that point of really knowing in your gut, like, they really mean it? Like, we really are not going to leave each other.
Two things pop up. I want to say them both in case I lose them. But one is, when you're a man, when you say what you mean and mean what you say, and you spend time showing that. And the other one is, Sarah would totally leave me if I didn't live up to my potential. So that's the thing. Like, if Sarah goes off the rails, like, we're not going to be apart. But the point is, we both continuously strive to grow and meet each other. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's like a slingshot where she'll go ahead of me, and then I'll give that space, and then and then all that tension will come, and then I'll slingshot me, and then it'll be like the slingshot effect. Nice. And then when we meet in the middle, it's harmony, and then it goes apart, and then it continuously. But then, like a stair climber, as you're climbing this ladder, you look down and you go, holy shit, we've moved really far. But going back to that first part is, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, and then now I spend the rest of my time proving that. And so the more I prove it by actions, words, deeds, commitments, following through, the more she learns to trust it. And then the more she learns to trust it, the more she learns to trust me, the more the relationship gets better, and the more we continue to grow. But those are very mutual things in our relationship, in our core values of, we both need to continue to grow. And if we start to stagnate and thrive for this level of comfort that, hey, we've outgrown 99% of the relationships out there, we're good, then both of us are going to get agitated because there's so much more to learn. And we're both so hungry for growth and learning, not impatient, not rushing it, but hungry when it's coming, because sometimes you fast, right? You're hungry and you fast to get, and then when you're ready, you get food or you get nourishment. So I don't want people to confuse, like, we're always gorging on, spiritual development, because there's times where Sarah was told by Paul she can't consume any intellectual information for 3 months, and I'm sure she said that on her on your podcast. So it doesn't always mean gorging ourselves, but at the same time, being present and being here and being mindful, and show up in the little things, in your little commitments. And I'm still working on that, and we're not free of irritation of each other, and we're not free of judgments of each other or expectations of each other. But when those come up, we're both in the space that we are aware that these things are going to continue to happen, but go deal with it. Like, we need to deal with it ourselves, or else it's going to eat at the other person. Like, if one day Sarah decided to, she's like, I'm done believing in, whatever, all this holistic mumbo jumbo, and start taking, start eating gluten and all this processed food again, and not drinking water, and getting really sick. And I'm like, I'd immediately go, what's going on? Like, what shifted? And then I would inquire, and I don't know what would happen if she turned into a very unhealthy, sick person. And I'd be very concerned for her and our kids and what they're witnessing. And I don't know if it would work. But the fact that whatever commitments that we make and continue to update, because like the commitments that we made when we first started aren't even commitments anymore. We're like, oh, we got these. We don't even have to talk about this anymore. But then we make new commitments and new commitments and new commitments, and refine our relationship, because that's what marriage is, not what the church says it is. It's not what your parents says it is. It's what you and the other person have mutually agreed upon. And if it's working and both of you feel loved in that space, then that's all that really matters. So when we create agreements between ourselves and our relationship as to what's important, and we uphold those, and then as we outgrow, we refine and refine again. So that's how that trust and that level of commitment builds, is that you say what you mean and mean what you say. And if you're a child or a boy and you're not willing to keep up with those commitments long term, day in and day out, then it's going to keep escaping. These relationships are going to keep escaping, and it's going to be a pattern. And most people don't recognize that the word karma in Sanskrit means wheel. And so if you keep repeating that pattern in a circular fashion and then not acknowledge that and not address that, then you're going to get more of the same. And Albert Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So sometimes we got to switch it up, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it hurts, or even if it's, hard to see. And, when I started coaching with Paul, he goes, "What do you want to work on?" The first thing I told him was, "I want you to show me what I can't see, because I can't work on what I can't see, and I want to work on it. So don't tell me things I already know. Tell me things that I completely am oblivious to." So that way, shining light on something that's in the dark, because that's helpful to me. Open my awareness to the things that I'm not seeing.